erase everything I said in the first episode. That episode, lame, loser, don't give about that episode. This episode, we are not making playoffs. I'm saying that now.
Dang. So, in news this week, off the rip, there is the Premier League Arsenal MLS All-Star game.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I did. And
okay.
I don't really know how I feel.
Yeah.
Here's my
Go
take.
ahead.
I'll just say what I think, and then you can kind of go bounce off. So when I saw it, at first I was like, oh, okay, kind of cool having, Premier League team. And then I thought, well, wait, hold on. I wasn't a huge fan of the, I'm not an all-star game hater, but I'm also kind of not that interested in like Liga MX versus MLS guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then with this, I feel two ways as well, because it's like, okay, cool, we'll have them here, but this is not going to stop any back and forth between MLS and Premier League or any other leagues. It's just going to start more shit, I think. Yeah. And then again, it's like, what team are they going to send? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's a little goofy. And also, isn't it in June or something?
July 19th is in DC as well, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think it's a little goofy, but I know they're just trying to gain interest of the fans, so
yeah,
I feel whatever about it.
So we've talked about my past and like what my family likes. We like basketball and football, whatever. Yeah. I don't like all the all-star games during those sports anyways. Like East versus West, whatever, is fine and cool and dandy, but like they just end up being like who can score the craziest nonsense without playing any defense, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's not a fun time. The cool things are like the dunk contest, or they used to be for the NBA, and stuff like that. So that's just interesting. My whole problem, I mean, it's not really a problem, but I'm just curious as to like why they're not even doing East versus West. Like, I understand it's cool to see a Premier League team come over here, but I don't think that's going to be a great thing, because I'm not one of those people that's like the tip top of the MLS can compete with the tip top of the Premier League. Like, I'm not going to smoke that copium. Like, that's not going to happen. And granted, they're still great and insanely talented, but I don't want to see, it's just going to start stuff. Yeah. Like you said, it's just going to give another thing for like Premier League Euro snob people to like talk down about MLS people for, I feel like, in general.
Either way it goes, if we win, they're going to be like, well, you're playing with our 10-year-olds or whatever. And then whatever.
It'll be like that, well, they weren't trying.
Yeah.
They knew it wasn't going to be. And I just hate that kind of, like, it's not like a good, like, there's always supposed to be like a good conversation that comes out of things like this. Mm-hmm. And I just don't see that happening.
Also, it's a tricky time. I know their season would be already over, right? It's their break. Our season, it'll be halfway through the season and Leagues Cup. And it's like it's just like added. Just like if I'm a player, I would just roll my eyes when I see this. It just seems like just more effort.
Like, I think it's cool when like Premier League comes over, because like Man U's coming over this year, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's cool when they go play the teams. That's great. Chelsea did it last year. I like that. I just find like this one specific thing. I would just much rather see East versus West. I think like I'd rather see an all-star game. I don't want to see like this like hybrid thing.
Yeah, if we're copying NBA or whatever, let's just do it
just do it. Yeah, don't half ass it, for lack of better. Like, just I don't know. I just feel like that's what people would want to see.
Yeah,
we talked about. I don't even know if we brought this in the show last week, but the Liga MX, the tournament with MLS.
Yeah.
The Leagues Cup. We talked about like how discourse is cool with that, because it's like team versus team. I think is the cool thing, not like tip top versus a team.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I think.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, these guys never played with each other. They're just from every team.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they don't have any chemistry involved. No. It's just going to be like a really weird conversation. Whereas like when it's East versus West, none of them play together. Like none of them. It's just like a fun time and blah blah blah. This is like a proving ground nonsense. The other news this week is Colorado Rapids Jack Price with his Achilles tendon.
Yeah,
and rupturing it in the middle of the game, turning the thing. So I posted a video about this. It basically was just like, for a team that's already struggling, how do we feel about them losing their oomph?
Man, I mean,
so to speak.
I could really relate with Sporting World and having our whole team injured for over a year. But what really sucks for them is, even if they're like, okay, maybe they can hold off some teams and just get real defensive and get some points. Well, now you have this big hole, and it's just like another setback. And at least they were just hoping for just better things in the future. At least Sporting could say like, oh, we got players coming back in a couple weeks. Well, they're screwed with this situation, and man, it sucks. I just can only imagine again through like when Polito got hurt and we're like, it's over. I feel like Colorado fans are probably feeling the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like they were already struggling really to kind of find out who they were.
Yeah.
This season, and because he was injured last season too, and so he comes back, right? He comes back this year, and the same thing. And last season they were, let's see, 11, 10, and 13, so 10th in the West. Wow. I feel like they're going to do worse this year, personally.
Yeah, it would have to be like a huge turnaround for them to do better. I think you're right. I think this is going to add just, even when we played them, it was such a horrible, ugly game of like two bottom teams playing each other. So, and we just started, and and like I said, we got people coming back. They are in a big hole.
They're in a bad hole because they're last. Yeah, like straight up, they're -6
goal difference.
-6 goal difference, and they have 1 point, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the draw. They have 2.
They have 1 point. They have one. Oh. I was looking at Chicago. They have 1. So yeah, I don't see that going very well. And in Discord, by the way, people are telling us what to talk about. So they wanted to know. I'm going to go ahead and do this because it just feeds right into it. People are asking who we think is going to get the wooden spoon this year.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be Colorado because they're already
Colorado.
bad. I think. Well, unless so, like the thing is they just have to. Granted, it's things like this where teams sometimes get that like we got to play for such and such. Yeah. Like we're with Charlotte and Anton Walks, granted, didn't go very well at the beginning. Yeah. They have that mentality, and then you've got Colorado now with granted it's just an injury and not like death with Anton Walks, but
right.
A different situation. But I still don't think they can. I don't know.
I Colorado for sure, and then the other one that just like does not move me, just like Sporting, is Chicago. They I mean, at least I think, did they win? No, I don't think they've won a game. They're in the same spot as us. Like I think they really don't look good. And then when you put them against Colorado, they're pretty even. So I think it's really safe if we go
Chicago.
You go Colorado, I go Chicago, but
I can see it. Speaking of Chicago, did you see their game?
Yes. Oh my God.
Did you see how empty it was?
Yes. I saw a picture on Twitter. That was the 3-3 game, right?
Yeah,
they played Cincinnati.
It was a great game.
It was.
It was a great game, but I don't understand. I think I saw like on Twitter, I think it was either Fox Soccer or somebody put out attendance for this week, and Chicago was like sub 7,000 or maybe just above 7,000 in a football stadium, by the way. So in like a normal soccer specific stadium, that's not going to feel as empty.
No, yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
But when you are in a stadium that seats 60, let me look it up real quick. Chicago, what's it called? Soldier Field.
Soldier Field. Probably at least 50,000 people. Stadium
63,500. So out of 63,500, they had 7,000.
Oh my God, that's bad.
And I know like Charlotte caps off the top parts, so I'm sure they do the same thing there, and as well as like Seattle and some other ones.
Yeah.
But I can't,
dude.
I thought like something was going on. Like there was a reason, like they had like staffing shortage, or there had to be something.
Yeah, it was like the LA game where people were actually boycotting and stuff like that.
But LA still had way more, which is crazy. Through a boycott and everything, they're stacked out. Still.
Yes, that's
granted, it felt empty and there's like no drums and stuff, but.
Yeah, I think they were up 3-1 too, and then
they lost or they tied. Yeah,
they tied. Wow, I mean
3-3.
That's painful.
Since we're talking about the games, which game this week did you enjoy watching? I know it wasn't yours.
No, definitely not. Enjoy watching. So I was like keeping up with 2 games. I was keeping up with the Montreal game in Philly, Montreal, Philadelphia. I watched the LA game versus Seattle. That sucked. People were, in chat telling me what was going on with the Charlotte game because that was insane.
Oh, yeah,
God. But yeah,
I was puckered real tight.
The ones I paid attention that stood out was Montreal, Philly, and like the way it ended was insane. Like last second just goal was insane. But other than that, didn't get to watch. Like, I want to rewatch the Houston-Austin game. I saw highlights of the Charlotte game, and then I saw highlights of that insane Atlanta game, 5-1 to Portland. Nuts. So
Portland's really feeling that back line issues.
Oh my god,
feeling it.
Really feeling. I thought Montreal was one of those teams in my head that I'm like, oh, they're gonna finish at the bottom there with.
I thought the
team.
same thing.
But that game, what the hell? It was unbelievable. What did you watch?
So I haven't gone back to watch that one. As much as I hate to say it, like our Austin, I'm gonna call Austin our team, by the way, because like we both have our individual teams, but I feel like we kind of both gravitate to Austin a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
So our team's game, I did not enjoy very much. Like it was very tough to watch them hit opportunity after opportunity and just miss them. And then they kind of fell flat the second half. In my mind, like on the attacking phase, and their defense, it was not fun to watch in my mind. And I know for a fact Austin people will agree with that.
Sure.
So much so that they are worried about losing to Colorado without their captain this weekend. So it's it's kind of a problem here. Charlotte game, I'm ecstatic about. I mean, there's always negative things I can say about it because, you know, it's just that's how we are as sports fans.
Sure.
We can always find something to find negative about our teams. But I've been wanting them to start this way, a little bit this way for the whole season. I love Vargas. I love him on the left side.
Yeah.
So it was great to see him actually do that and do very, very well that place. Then towards the second half, Westwood got injured. I think it was concussion protocol actually to bring him out at halftime. They were going to pull him out right before half. But then after that, it was like, right back to the first 3 game style. It was really sketchy.
Yeah.
Things just weren't connecting. It was just very weird feeling. But the first half, my God, it felt like a brand new team, brand new style. Everything was fantastic.
2-0, right?
2-0 in like no time. In no time at all. I think I saw something where it was like Charlotte has scored more goals than Tigres did in the same time period. And I was like, this is a problem for Orlando because, or for Liga MX, if you want to go that route, it's like these are your star boys. So
yeah,
I don't know. It was very strange.
that game I was getting notifications during because I think we played at the same time or somewhere around there.
It was like right before.
Right before. Okay, because someone was mentioning like, all right, Orlando scored or Orlando's coming back, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what's going on? So the second half, it was like Orlando ball, the whole thing.
Yeah, basically. Well, it was just like Charlotte just kind of fell back into their old
ways.
Their old ways of just like not connecting. It just felt very strange. The midfield wasn't really present. It was weird. It was just very strange.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So. Literally same situation. Sporting up 1-0 in the half. We're looking fucking good. We're like, I don't know. We finally we're like, okay, we take 30 shots on goal and finally one goes in. And it's like, okay, great. And then second half, just like you said, same old. It literally looked like from the 50th minute when they tied the game, our coach goes, all right, we're going to fight off for a tie. In the 55th or whatever. It's like, bro, we have so much
push.
time,
Why are we backlining? No.
Exactly. And to be fair, we did miss 2 penalties in the second half. So I guess we were pushing at one point. But yeah, dude, it's
Do you count that as missing 2?
No,
or is it technically 1?
That's the thing. It's like if there's a rule, then that means the team cheated. So they didn't miss 1.
Well, here's the thing: is if that. So I don't know the ruling on this, but I would assume it would be like an advantage type of situation if you did score that, even though he's offline.
Right?
Do they count? They count it, right?
Yep.
So it's just like an advantage. So I guess technically it is missing 2.
So, but here's the thing, though. Like if he goes off the line, or sorry. The other one was people were getting nervous because there were players like actually crossing the line into the box with that goofy ass rule. So it was like a double banger because there was a guy in the box right as he's taking it. So that would have been retaken. Then goalkeeper was up a little bit. That had to be retaken. It was just dumb. I hate it. But then first of all, like I know a lot of people are not going to know sporting lore, but having this guy that we just signed in Willie take the penalties, it was so shocking.
Your reaction was kind of hilarious.
Please, who is taking this? Who is taking it? Willie? No! Why the f*** is he taking 58. Bro, like it was so random. I was just like, why did we just flip a coin? Because I've never even heard him taking penalties in practice. I have no idea. And then
do you think he just grabbed the ball and was like, I'm doing it because he was the one that got fouled?
Maybe. And I hated that, like playing when I was younger. Yeah. I hated that. Like, bro, we have a guy just because
there is a guy selected to do this.
Exactly.
Let them do it.
Let them do it.
But then, to be honest, your guy didn't.
Well, yeah, okay.
Deliver either.
The other guy that took it was also a brand new signing that we signed halfway through the season. We signed both of them at the same time. This guy is also, for some reason, like, I guess he got this leadership role very last minute. And now we have our main captain out. The guy that everyone was expecting was Daniel Shalaway, the guy who scored the goal in the first half. He's usually the guy if we don't have Johnny Russell or whoever. So then we had these two people taking it, and they both miss it. And it's just like, and the two people we need goals right now just for their confidence. We're so screwed, bro. I'm not even joking.
It was not a great look. I saw also at the end of this game, at the very end of the game, there was supposed to be another PK.
Right.
And it got called back.
Yep.
Okay. Now that you've had some time on it, how do you feel about it? Because I know your initial reaction was not great.
Yeah, so like, okay, here's my only point. This is actually all my anger in this situation.
Okay.
And I actually felt bad for Dallas. Here's the thing. The referee sees something that he thinks is a penalty. All right. He thinks it's a penalty, fine. This is going to be reviewed. Here's the goofy thing that really pissed me off, and I felt bad for anyone in this situation, is we have a VAR team upstairs. They're watching. They see it, and if the referee makes a decision, then it's time, and maybe it's the wrong one, and they see it another way, they ask him to look at the video and review it, and then we go from there. The problem MLS is having is we're reviewing, like we're making the center ref physically go to this video review so often, or he will stand there for like a good 10 minutes, and then they go, actually, you go look at it. And then he spends another 10 minutes looking at the screen, and then there we go. Then there's a penalty. Or, which we had twice this year, they're reviewing offsides, but they're having center ref review offsides.
I hate that.
What the hell? Why is he doing that?
I don't understand that.
That was where my rant was like coming from. Like, even if they called, or they said no penalty, that's fine. My problem was like, dude, we cannot spend so much time, because here's the other thing. What if Dallas was owning ass? We got this quick little opportunity, but now all the players are standing around. They're tired as hell. It's towards the end of the game. Some people might cramp up. All this stuff could happen, and it just kills the game. And that's why I was really pissed. So I still feel the same, but a little bit more calm about it.
Okay, that's not the only... Yeah. Did you see the LA game? LA Galaxy game?
No.
The
The
handball.
I saw a video of it, but I don't know the whole situation.
The center ref made the call from like 25 yards behind the situation. Not like it like happened like kind of like in the front of the player on like the right side a little bit. And the goal's in front of them. And the ref is like way back behind.
What?
And he's making this call, and once he calls it, it like, I don't know. It was supposed to be a goal for LA, and he called it a handball, and so they called it back. But it was just like this absolutely terrible. In my mind, it's like an inappropriate call for him to make.
Yeah,
because you can't see it. We've both been on field. Like, you can't see. Like, there's just no way you can see that.
Wait, it takes such a weird ricochet, bounces up, bounces off someone's thigh, then hits him in the arm, then he goes and hits it.
But it's like kind of like his shoulder.
Yeah, it's very
not
high.
Really. It's not low. It's not like an obvious, and it's like one of those parts. Like, the ruling is if you extend your arm to make your body wider, blah blah blah. All right.
Yeah.
You can't extend your shoulder to make it wider. So it's like it's just part of. Shoulders are also legal to hit with. So it just felt very bad call, like inappropriate for him to be able to make that call from that far away to even like if we can't decide if it's a handball with slowed down, zoomed in, great angle. There's no way he was able to make that call from way back there.
That's true. It's bouncing off of multiple people, dude. Like, what do you want to do?
We didn't even talk about Thiago Almada's goal.
Oh my fucking god.
35 plus yards away, by the way, right?
Dude,
that's how long that's nuts. Miles outside.
This hit, and this is like the second free kick goal, right?
Because he had one in the first week.
Yeah. The
which
comeback
is
game.
very similar. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that one also kissed the post. I want to like break it down a little bit because like
Yeah.
goalies, I'm not an MLS goalie. Okay, I'm not a professional athlete by any
Right.
means. However, in my limited experience in playing and coaching, you do not need that many people in the wall because you're going to blind yourself as a goalie.
Yep.
You're not gonna be able to see what's going on. And then to mention, like Atlanta then added 3 more people to it, which was very smart on them. Goal still absolutely insane, regardless of how many people are there.
Yeah,
the curve on it, the curl, everything about it.
Oh yeah, and that angle behind him where you could see the curl. Oh, fucking
insane.
So we didn't leave this in the last episode, but first let's just bring it up again. Okay. This man is gone in the summer.
He's gone.
Do you think
he's gone? So we talked about this a little bit in the first one, but since we didn't bring it up, I'll bring it back up. I think it depends on how well they're doing,
right?
Because I feel like if he has, it also depends on who wants him and where he go. And I will give a little bit of opinion,
okay,
of where I think he might end up. But I feel like if they are top of the table, he potentially will stay, depending on, granted, who wants him, right?
Yeah.
Because if he's there, he has the potential to get MVP, a cup, or I guess a ring, whatever.
Yeah, whatever
the US does. Not a medal or anything, but like a ring. He has the potential to have like an insane stat season. As far as like titles and accolades and all sorts of things. Yeah. And granted, I know like to some people, MLS doesn't matter.
Sure.
But I feel like when you're 18, that's still insane. Doesn't matter what league you're in to get accolades like that. So, because he's got 4 goals and like 4 assists or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Let me see right now. He's got 4 goals and 4 assists in 4 games.
Stupid.
Which is stupid.
Just
for an 18-year-old, right?
But here's the thing. I'm gonna say this though, because we talked about it. I was on the same page. Like I think depending on where they're at, he'll stay. Mm-hmm. But also the numbers that people are throwing out, just like the guessing little numbers, are so damn stupid that if you're 18 years old and a club, for even if it's like,
doesn't matter.
Pretend, Girona came after him and said, "Hey, we're gonna give you 50 mil. Come here, a couple years." I don't know if he'll care about the standings anymore. It's just like you said, it's gonna depend on what he wants mentally. Does he want to finish this little story arc here at the club, or will he want to go progress into Europe or whatever? But I just think June is going to be very fun for
Atlanta. Is going to be quite empty, I think, in June. So if he does, who do you think he would go to? Like who would offer him?
I think there's a huge pool of young South American players going to the Premier League, but starting like almost like the Julian Alvarez thing, where he's super young, played in Argentina, and never had a like European start ever, Julian Alvarez. And then Manchester City got him, and now he's like this little backup player, developing him. I think a big club would love to have him on, or like a Newcastle or something like that, to maybe not start him immediately, but have him in the academy a little bit and then put him in a game and then see how he does. I think it could be from La Liga teams. We're talking obviously Premier League teams. I think an awesome fit would be like a Brighton. They did this. Brighton's like famous for getting these kids that are about to start their seasons and then sell them for a stupid amount of money. I think it'd be cool to see him at some club in the Premier League, like a mid-table, lower. I think
it could. So this is going to be a very hot take, and I don't think this is going to happen. But it would potentially maybe make sense if he continues to have an absolutely insane monster season. There's a team that you can't see, so I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I'm wearing a hoodie for them right now. They're like kind of in like not like a rebuild. It's not a rebuild, but they don't have a lot of like young people, and it's a reason why they don't want a certain somebody who we've talked about to come to them. Almada has played with Messi, right? This is a stretch, okay? This is a real big stretch, okay? He's young enough to where they can mold him to however they want. They need young people like this, but I do think that Barca could potentially, maybe not like have him with them on their team, but like have someone like a deal where they like loan him out or whatever. But I feel like this is the type of player maybe that they would look for, not necessarily the skill level, but the fact that like he is this great over here already, and he's he's going to be bought out at some point soon, very, very soon. They need this kind of young talent. I mean, they're doing great right now by themselves, and they just beat Real like last week.
Sure.
So, but I do think like it could be something as crazy as that, like maxed out, obviously. Like, that's like the tip top of like the absolute nutter conspiracy theory of where I think Almada could end up. But I do think like a Brighton, like a very middle table. I personally would like to see him at Forest, obviously, but I don't think that would ever happen because they've already brought in a lot of players around his skill set this season. So, and
I don't think Newcastle either, even though they did the same thing with Miguel. But I think that's the route. But whatever happens, it's gonna make MLS look good. It's gonna get more South Americans going, okay, let me do this stepping stool.
Yeah, well, because it's already been like the past couple of years, it's already been doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's becoming like a feeder league instead of like a retirement league, which is such a great thing to hear. I would like it to be like a league, but I am way more happy about a feeder than I am in retirement. Especially like even with Almada, you got to talk about Wiley is also absolutely nuts. I mean, granted, Charlotte gave him 2 goals, but he's still doing very, very well and he's an American, right?
Yes,
like he's could be on the national team at some point. So
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. All these young guys, it just makes the league fun to watch. Honestly,
it does. As fun as it is for like Ibra to come over or whoever you want to say come over, like it's a good time. It's a fun time, but like it's not like longevity wise, not as interesting to me.
Yeah,
because it's like watching people develop and like have their firsts is way more interesting than being like, oh, it's his last. Oh, he's having like a victory lap.
Bringing back that little special moment again.
Yeah,
wow,
it's
do
like
you guys remember? Like,
it's like granted, I'm wearing a hoodie from 2010 of the Barca team, but still, like I would much rather see the early firsts and not relive things that we don't really need to relive in the U.S. Do you want to talk about which games we think are going to be
some good ones?
Some good ones this week, and so I talked to you about this in DMs. I want to rate these on like bomb level, right?
Okay,
because Bombazo, right?
Bombazo,
and then,
let's go.
And then I want to do the worst game of the week, our potential worst game of the week, and call it the dud, because like a bomb that doesn't explode is a dud.
I love that. I think there's several duds, to be honest.
I feel like there are several duds now. Looking at it right now too. I'm gonna be at the Charlotte Red Bulls game, and I'm praying that's not a dud.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be a dud. I don't think it's going to be, but I know there's one game on here that I feel like you would love for both teams to lose.
Yeah. St. Louis and Real Salt Lake.
I saw that. I was like, this is Kevin's nightmare in a wet dream.
Literally my nightmare. These two teams coming at it. But here's what I'll say, though. It's going to be so interesting to see if St. Louis wins this game. And like in a good way, solid goals, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I don't know. We're gonna start talking St. Louis for the crown, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: not like Real Salt Lake is an amazing team or whatever.
No.
But 5 straight W's.
5 straight. Well, 4 straight's a record.
Right. 4 is the record for the new team.
Now 5 it was 3, and they broke it.
Man, they are. Yeah,
they're cooking.
Don't know. They're definitely cooking. And RSL is it? Wait, where is it? Hold on. Is it in? Yeah, it's in.
It's in Salt Lake. I'm pretty sure.
Salt Lake. So, this is gonna be.
And the win probability is 48% Salt Lake, 26% draw, 26% wins St. Louis, which is. I don't know who makes that.
Doesn't sound right.
But that sounds wrong.
RSL's also dealing with defensive problems. They had a guy. They got rid of a guy. Like they are dealing with some shit too this early. That's kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a little strange. I think it might be like a fan vote thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't seem.
I don't know how it works.
So that one stands out, but that's not like a bomb or dud. I don't.
No, that's just like I feel like that's just gonna be. I think it'll be a great game to watch because St. Louis is on this like burner of a season so far. I think it'll be a great game to watch, especially because like it's like in my mind they're all Midwest and it's like a battle of the Midwest mediocrity.
Sure.
No offense.
Yeah. No.
But so I do think. So normally I would say Portland and LA Galaxy would be a great game, but I don't think either one of them are in shape for it to be a great game.
Yep.
Philadelphia and Orlando, same thing. Normally that would be a great game, but I don't think it's going to be a great game.
Yep.
My first potential bomb, though, I'm going to say is Atlanta United and Columbus. I don't think Columbus is doing super hot right now.
Yeah.
But typically, I feel like this should be a great game. And Atlanta, just great games to watch right now in general, because as we've talked about in the past in this podcast so far, the talent there is insane right now.
Yeah. But like, are we gonna see a 3-goal masterclass by Thiago? I don't freaking know. Or we just see
I don't know. It could be insane or nothing.
Or actually, here's this: if a dud means just like not a good game,
not a good game, like something I think is going to be like a 0-0 draw or like a 1-1 type of situation, like a 1-0.
I'm feeling Inter Miami Chicago, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Well, one, Chicago obviously not hot, but two, Inter Miami.
So this is your dud. This is your dud pick.
This is my dud. I think it's going to be suspicious because here's my other original dud was going to be Nashville Cincinnati, but that actually could be
interesting
fun.
Dud pick.
Because here's the thing, I think Cincinnati has been, who did they lose to? Hold on, they lost. They just tied. They tied. Oh yeah, you're right. Chicago, and then they barely beat the Sound. Oh fuck, they beat Seattle. Because I remember they drew Orlando 0-0, and that was boring as hell.
This is why. Okay, this is why this is hard for those of you who are watching and listening. This is hard because the entire table is screwy. Everything about this season makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
There's so many teams that should be balling out that are just like not doing anything. And then teams that shouldn't be doing anything that are balling out. So it's like, this is like.
What about San Jose, Toronto? I mean, Toronto lost a big guy.
So that was going to be my dud of the week.
Yeah.
Was San Jose and Toronto. That's my dud. That is my.
Late as hell.
It's at 10:30. No one's gonna be paying attention.
Watching that.
Granted, LAFC and FC Dallas are also 10:30, but that's that's the game.
That's the worst out of them.
San Jose Toronto worst game in my mind.
I think you're right.
Dud of the week.
Best game.
I think like if we're going, I'm gonna kind of rank them. San Jose worst. Okay.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna go with. I'll put the entire. So Inter Miami, I feel like is a great team, but last week they didn't really show it too well. So I'm gonna go with that game as well. I don't think that's gonna be a great game.
Okay.
I'm gonna then go Minnesota, Vancouver. I don't know why. I just like don't have any interest in watching Vancouver play.
Right.
I don't know why. I'm sorry if you're a Vancouver person. My like main editor boy Dan is in Vancouver, so I can say that they suck. Okay, I have the card. I don't want to rank this that low, but I'm gonna say Sporting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think that's
gonna
be a
get
great
fucking
game.
bombed. Only luck we're gonna have is international break, which I guess we can mention, and I think Seattle has some call ups. So if we win, it's still gonna be. If we win our first game of the season, it's still gonna be delusional because Seattle are missing big guys.
I forgot it was call up week.
Yeah.
Charlotte has one call up, and we didn't even play them last week, so W.
Oh, that's good. Good for you. Yeah, I think Seattle and Sporting is going to be a horrifically bad game, and I can't believe I have to fucking watch it live for 2 hours.
You have to. It's not like you get to. You have to. You have to be live,
to.
And you have to be streaming too.
Yes.
So, like, actually, I'm going to skip through and go to my sleeper bombs of the week.
Okay.
Because, like, the other ones I feel like are kind of all about the same.
Yeah.
But I think my two sleepers of the week are going to be the Houston Dynamo and New York City game.
Yep.
I think that's gonna be a great game, and then the DC United and New England game I think are gonna be great games.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That should be fun.
I think those are gonna be my top two. The Nashville Cincinnati game I think is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a good one. The Austin one I'm real nervous for.
Oh God, if they they lose. There's no shot, right? I don't want to curse.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything about this because I'm not putting myself in the crossfire here. I am just saying I am nervous for that game, and I just
think Colorado has no striker, so like how are they going to score? But Austin could just
Austin also has no defense, so anyone can score.
That's true.
It's you don't have to be. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your true bombs, Kevin?
I think you're absolutely right about DC United. New England should be fun as hell. I just think they hate each other.
It's also 7:30. It's like perfect.
Such
perfect
a good
viewing
game.
time.
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, I think that's gonna be.
That's 6:30 for you though, right?
Yeah, 6:30 for me. And then the other one, like you mentioned, Houston absolutely shocked me against Austin. So I would love to see them against New York. And New York also has this weird, shaky back and forth thing. Like they lost a game I didn't think they would, and then they win a game I thought they're gonna lose. So I think plus
the win probability on that game is 37% Houston. 35% New York.
Oh, well,
so
yeah,
it's like split down the middle.
Love that.
And it's not at New York, so that's a dub.
It's in Houston. Yeah.
I
All right.
absolutely hate watching New York City games. I absolutely hate it. It looks terrible. The angles are weird.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that you can still see the diamond.
Yes.
The baseball diamond. Granted, it'll change when they get their new stadium. The new stadium is going to be amazing. But for now, I'm going to hate. And
yeah,
if you don't like it, you don't like it.
I have 3 teams that I like, 2 that are newer that I just kind of joined. So like most of my American family are actually from New York, and my wife is from New York. So I picked up, and she's from the Bronx. So that's the team that I kind of also am like. With Austin, same thing. And it's always been that horrific vibe of playing in a baseball stadium. And they get enough shit for being in there, but it's complicated, it's hard, it's New York, blah, blah. But it's an eyesore. And from what I've heard, like the Cooligans have told me and everything, that it actually is a nice environment to go to.
I'm sure it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I watching it on TV, I'm just not
exactly
because I'm not in the environment. I'm sure the environment's amazing. I like New York City FC like as a team. I just don't want to watch it on TV.
Yeah,
so, like I'm sure like it's great and everything there, but I just don't want to.
Yeah. We'll check back in a couple of years when that stadium in Queens.
That stadium's gonna be fantastic. Have you seen the renderings? Oh my god!
And right next to not like Queens is like the most. No offense to my Queens homies, but it's not like the most beautiful place. But it's right next to City Field, so it's gonna and hopefully they start building more. They have plans.
It'll be like a nice little like downtown,
like
without being like these giant skyscrapers everywhere.
Sure, yeah. So I'm excited. I can't wait. Yes,
Kevin. I want to talk about little rabbit hole things real quick.
Sure.
Since it's International Weekend, you're from Argentina.
Yes.
Have you seen the video of Messi and his family eating at Don Julio?
Yes. Oh,
how crazy is that video?
What's wild about it is like I went through the whole cycle of like Argentina fans hating Messi and screaming at him, talking like the worst shit ever, and he's always been seen in public not happy, not smiling, just all serious. And then especially just recently with PSG, he doesn't look all this stuff. And then you see him in that video, he's like smiling. People are,
it's
chanting,
wild.
singing. It's insane.
The amount of people in the honks. No, not before. No. But he's like a god now, which I understand. I mean, like, as an American, I don't really understand, right? Because we're kind of weird about.
Here's what I'll say, because this is a perfect way of describing. I know this is kind of we're 90s babies, but we didn't grow up.
Okay.
I don't have that much memory of the 90s. The closest way to put this to like for people to grasp is Michael Jordan. Full stop.
Yeah.
Like the aura, the fucking like people just freak out no matter where he is in the world. Like that type of vibe.
I mean, honestly, I feel the same way about Messi, but like. I like Messi way like I don't know. I grew up with Michael Jordan. I grew up with like Vince Carter and all of them, right?
Yeah,
and legends. I loved them. Yes. But in my mind, because I way prefer soccer and this whole side of things, I hold Messi way higher, just like the rest of the world, I think. But
yeah,
it's still like for me because I don't feel like we don't even see this with like movie stars here.
Yeah.
Like it's never like this. Like sure, there's like maybe like 10 people outside. This is like what happens when we will win like a national title.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like the city of like the state that wins or whatever team wins. This is what happens, and this is just because he's out to dinner.
Yeah, and that like the other one is like so you mentioned this, and there was like a whole other talk about how these stars are not that famous or whatever, not like the other like the old stars. But you know who is similar or was similar? Sorry, was Michael Jackson, because he had the same vibe. That dude would just go to anywhere and there'd be
anywhere, and that's true. That's a good one. That's a good comparison for that one. Insane. When I saw this video pop up, I was like, this is unreal.
The only thing I think of though, selfishly, I'm like, no, Messi, do not enjoy your time in Argentina because I don't want you going back there. Want him going and I don't want. And a bunch of Barca players are talking really great about him, like, hey, we're opening our arms to you. Please come here. I'm like, shut the hell up. Miami, please do something. Please.
I would love for him to go to Miami. I don't really, back to what we were talking about earlier, I don't think it makes sense for him to go anywhere. I don't think it makes sense for him to go to Barca.
Right.
Because like I said earlier, they need like the younger talent.
Yeah.
But I do think he's got the heartstrings for Argentina. So especially now with everywhere he goes, he's like a a living god. But I think that could potentially get really old.
That's true. Yep, and
really
he's very
fast.
focused about his family. If he's good, he's gonna be worried that everyone's gonna be mobbing their kids and stuff. So I think we have that in our back pocket.
I saw a video about Messi's dog. Did you see this? There's a video of like some dude walking his dog, and these dudes are like singing Messi's dog, Messi's like it's crazy. Just his dog, not even like his family walking his dog. Like some like walker person is walking Messi's dog.
It doesn't help that his dog is a fucking
massive
beast of a dog.
You understand it's Messi's dog, but like it still was like if that's happening, I could understand him not going anywhere near Argentina just because of that. Kevin, speaking of you. In Argentina, do you want to talk about River? What do they call themselves now? River City Ramble.
Oh yes, sure. Let's start from the beginning. The beginning is there's a podcast that's partnered with Sporting Kansas City. It's literally a broadcaster from Sporting Kansas City, another one, and sometimes they bring players or whatever. Okay, great. They don't have a lot of episodes. They have like 8 episodes. Anyways, fast forward, so they've had this and they've kind of uploaded whatever. Then fast forward, St. Louis has a team now, and now they have a bunch of podcasts popping up left and right. Well, a St. Louis podcast started recently, and they had a name. The name was almost the exact same name as this Sporting affiliated podcast, right? Okay. Here's the rundown of what happened. Apparently, they were sent an email that was not a cease and desist, but it's basically like the email before the cease and desist. Right. It's basically saying,
it's like the preemptive, like,
it's like, hey buddy,
we're watching you.
Exactly. We know you're and I'll get into my stuff in a second because I've been there. So they basically sent this email to the podcast saying, hey, we would like your people to talk to our people, our lawyers, and start from there. Here's the thing. Obviously, that podcast, it's just like 4 or 5 people. It's a small podcast. They're not affiliated with anyone. They're damn well not making any money off of this. Yeah. And at the time, they had like 800 followers. All right. So the backlash is, of course, why the fuck is Sporting Kansas City coming after a tiny little podcast on another team just because they have a similar name? And here's the right answer. Okay. There's 2. One is, if we're being very technical, and I'm just going to say this and get this out of the way, if you have a trademark on something, you can lose your trademark if you don't fight back infringements. Okay, that's just
unfortunately,
that's just how it works, right? But here's the other side.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid. I totally agree. Here's the other side of that, though. They are a small ass podcast that has nothing to do with Sporting Kansas City, and saying soccer capital of America or whatever the name was is so generic to me that now it's just petty, okay? In my opinion. And this is coming from a Sporting fan. So I can relate because I had the same situation. I had a different name, and then they didn't give me a cease and desist. It was the same exact email. And we're fine now. It was a big rocky. I really wanted to stop. I got very upset. Just like the St. Louis fans are very upset, and of course, and everyone else in the league are very upset, of course. But I've been in that spot where I'm like, I'm quitting. Screw this team. Basically, I was like, fuck you. I'm giving you free advertisement. Fuck your free advertisement. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Luckily, I was calmed down by several people, and I just held off and changed my name, whatever. Here's the thing, St. Louis fans and every other fans, whoever did this person that sent this out, are extremely petty. And 2, I think this is the best thing that's happened to that podcast. They doubled their followers. Oh, yeah. They've made their rival look really bad.
Their name is way better.
Their name is way, way better.
River City Ramble is a great name.
Yes, River City Ramble is good. I think everything turned out well. There is the thing where the only discourse is like, oh, people are saying you don't understand copyright. Okay, fine. And then the other people are saying, yeah, we understand copyright, but it's like cringe and embarrassing. And I completely agree. I was shocked that they would come after an own fan of their own team. That was shocking to me. I'm like, bro, we're on the same side.
You want to hear my tinfoil hat reason?
Go ahead.
Okay, so St. Louis, and Sporting Kansas City are basically rivals, right? Yeah. It's gonna if it hasn't happened yet, it's gonna happen in the future. It's like a fan thing already because it's proximity, blah 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 blah. Right. St. Louis is calling themselves Soccer City of America, of the world or whatever. They sell scarves with soccer capital, blah, blah, blah. Right. I think because they couldn't go after St. Louis City, they decided to go after something they could to make a point.
Right. Oh, I like that.
It kind of sucks that this kind of group got caught up in it.
Yep.
Obviously, probably not, but also maybe. You never know. Like it could be,
what's the point?
Something.
What literally you barely upload.
There's no point.
There's no point.
There's no point. So you have to like make a point. There has to be some kind of motive behind it. Otherwise, you just kind of let them go.
Yeah, which is exactly why I even they DM'd me because I was getting some heat on ourselves. Like I have nothing to do with sporting. Like literally have nothing to do. But
don't tell me that. You're the CEO. What are you talking about?
Right, yeah.
We know this.
I run that. I'm Mr. Sporting.
You run that. Yeah, you're the reason they lose.
Exactly. That actually might be true. But
okay, well.
So they DM me and they said, they apologized, and I was like, listen, no apologies. I know it's not you guys. And the other thing is, first of all, this was gonna happen. So let's say this podcast blows up. They're fucking huge. They got hundreds of thousands of followers, just making up a scenario. But then Sporting Kansas City goes up. You got our name?
Yeah.
Then it's a big fucking problem. Then
I would much rather it happen early.
Yes. Yeah, which 100%. I was thankful it happened early for me. It happened early for them, and I told them the same thing. Hey, it's a better name. It happened early. It would have been a bigger headache in the future. One person did have a good point and said you got to look up this stuff before you make a brand or whatever.
Fair, but when you think like soccer capital, like that does not feel like anything.
Yeah, it doesn't
that
feel
would
like
anyone would ever come after you. It's
it
feels so generic and vague.
Capital.
Yeah, it's like such a widespread thing.
Yes, I agree. But, so I think at the end of the day, like they won in the sense of it was a headache. They had to go through it and they were threatened or whatever. But it's over. If we're gonna lose all three. I'm telling you, right? We lose all the games against St. Louis, and it's just gonna be a good, funny joke. But
I love that you're just like, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, and when it happens, I might smile a little bit. I'll feel bad for the players, but
you heard it here first. Kevin's a St. Louis fan.
Stop.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. You said you were gonna smile.
And to be absolutely fair, I don't know if I said this to them in the DM or if I responded to someone, but I really could care less of a fuck about St. Louis. It's just like a funny little, like, I guess Kansas City doesn't like them, so I do. I'm not fucking even from here. I do not care about a border war. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, if someone brought up, and which is funny, they're like, this is Kansas and Missouri going after again. Are we talking about the Civil War? Okay. And the Missouri fans are like, yeah, fuck Kansas. I'm going to be like, okay, do you know your history on the Civil War, Missouri? Not a good one. Okay. Let's not bring up history.
No, we're
like
going
that.
all the way back to the textbooks.
Let's not go all the way back Missouri. But yeah, I think, look, it's a bad situation. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Hopefully, I've heard many other clubs do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an embarrassing thing. I hope clubs just realize that no matter what team or what podcast or what creators, it's all for the benefit of the entire league. It doesn't matter. Them shitting on us every day or whatever, it's good for the league. It's good
it's great. Forth. I mean, I want to say right now, like, there's a reason that the MLS is trying to pair TikTok creators with teams.
Oh, we should bring that up.
Yeah,
that's huge.
The MLS is trying to currently pair like a team with a content creator over TikTok and other things to kind of like bring in views and I guess hipness, if you want to be old about it, because I'm old, right? Yeah, a little engagement there going. So it doesn't. It's just weird to see like a team kind of fight up the opposite way. But I think it's great. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because like creators in my mind are, if maybe like fans of the backbone, right?
Yes.
But creators and podcasts and shows and like leading figures in communities are like kind of what like keeps things pushing in my mind. Whereas like the fans are the lifeblood, but like the other things are the ones that like kind of keep it all together and kind of maybe not organize it, but give something for people to do all throughout the week and kind of come together and do things that way. So, but it's awesome that the MLS is doing this. And I just want to say, I know Kevin would love to be paired with Sporting Kansas City. Doesn't matter all the hoppabaloo, right?
Sure.
I would love to be paired with Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, you hear that? Major League Soccer.
We would love to be paired out here.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we're big enough. I don't care if we're big enough.
No, I don't care either. I'm going to say this though. I don't know too many Charlotte creators. I don't know too many Sporting creators. It would be I'm not saying like, oh, we deserve it hands down, but between the like time that we've spent on these clubs and blah blah blah, it's gonna be very interesting to see who they pick. If they pick, here's my worry. That the teams are gonna pick whoever they want, right? So then Sporting, for example, are gonna choose some of their guys and their media team, and that's gonna be the guy. That's my worry. If they do,
that would
Sporting
be
Kansas
so
City,
sad.
If you choose someone on your media team, it doesn't even have to be me, just another creator I would love. But if you choose a media team person, I'm going to fucking lose my shit.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, not cool.
That's like fake. It's like that fake engagement thing.
Fake.
It's fake. Come on, it's fake. So here's like the Charlotte one. I don't know. This could be me being bad at my job and not understanding people in the space, but I don't know if there are Charlotte creators.
I know one is.
Like
the Charlotte Fan TV. I think they're called
Charlotte Fan TV. Yes, they are, but they're not on they're not TikTok people. So like, there's not a lot of like they're on YouTube.
That's true.
They do like the YouTube streams. It's like that, and then you've got like Top Bin, who is more of like a news thing, but like also not really on TikTok. Yeah. So it's like, if it's just strictly a TikTok thing, then I don't know many people at all in that space for Charlotte.
I was going to say, you know what? Same thing on Sporting side. It's not like an individual or whatever. It's more like a group of people.
It's a group of people doing like YouTube things.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I think you're right.
Which I love. I think it should be more like a pairing between all media. I don't necessarily think it should be like one. And I could be wrong. It might not be just TikTok, but I think like it is.
I know the partnership. It literally said TikTok for I don't know how
that's
long,
what I remember saying too.
But that doesn't mean more stuff won't open. But
no,
we'll see.
No, it doesn't. So Kevin asked in Discord, we are shooting an episode soon. Leave anything in here you would like for us to talk to. The first thing is, do you think the international break will be a huge help for any MLS team to get back to form, like finding the right chemistry, give players more time to be together, etc.? Yes, is my answer.
My opinion is, well, you think it will bring them together?
I think it'll bring a different chemistry together to the people. So it's like, normally international break bring or remove like the glue from teams. Right. In my mind, it removes the glue. So during that time where they're gone, they kind of have to come together without the glue. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think yes. I don't think they will do well without those players specifically. But I think like coming together and finding more chemistry, I think yes. But they're not mutually exclusive where it's like they leave, the chemistry gets better, so they must win. That's not in my mind something that has to be mutually exclusive there. Like they can have way more chemistry, they can become better, tight knit, whatever, and still lose without their star players or without their glue. But yeah, that's my thought on it.
Yeah, I actually gonna go the opposite way, and this is why. Because like, well, it could, thank God MLS and not thank God, I guess at the same time, we don't have that many players going on international duty, like actually going. Right. But the ones that do kind of get screwed a little bit because they got to go, here's a game, and then all right, you got a game, break, you got to leave, or these guys don't leave, and then you got like maybe the star of the team or some big player. He comes back. He played a couple games. He trained with a whole group of other guys. Then he comes into a new system, or not new system, another system, tries to work back. Maybe he's tired. He misses a game or whatever. To me, it only fucks up on the side of like, not chemistry, but just like more of like the physical side of it. It's going to suck for them that leave. But yeah, I don't think
the rhythm part.
Yeah, the rhythm. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, he was gone 2 weeks, so that's why we've been losing 3 games straight.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna be like that either. No. Yeah. I think that's a great point where it's like the people that do leave and go on it, that kind of throws a wrench in their chemistry. I think that's fair. That's a totally fair comparison. All right, next question was, I think we already answered this actually, which was Thiago Almada, and if y'all think he's sticking around or if they'll sell and where they'll sell him to.
No, I don't think he's staying. I think he's gonzo.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Unless, like you said.
Like,
the thing. Okay, 3 weeks in, who you guys got for the wooden spoon? We talked about that one. Recap, Colorado Rapids for me. You said Chicago.
Chicago.
Which I could see Chicago as well. And then who goes undefeated the longest? Ooh, that's a good question.
Who is easy answer? St. Louis, baby.
You think St. Louis? Well, who?
Let me look at their teams.
Undefeated still.
Isn't it like only 4 teams?
Table. Yeah, I don't remember right now. Okay, let's see.
LAFC.
Cincinnati.
And What? Oh my god!
Cincinnati is undefeated.
What
Atlanta
the hell?
is so on the east side, it's Atlanta and Cincinnati.
Okay.
And then on the west, it is St. Louis, LAFC, Minnesota.
Oh my god, you're right, Minnesota. Okay, I don't think it's gonna be Minnesota. I think
we can mark off Minnesota and Nashville, or not Nashville, Cincinnati. We can mark off Cincinnati and Minnesota.
Let me look at LA's schedule. Well, LA plays Dallas, then they play Colorado, and then they have the CONCACAF break.
Vancouver game, which should win that one.
They should win that, and then
then they play Austin.
Ooh.
That should okay. You're saying ooh like that, but we got to remember,
yeah, they've not been playing well.
Their mentality is not there right now.
Okay,
and then they play Vancouver again. So I think they could continue. So they're in my mind, if Austin starts shaping up, that's gonna be a great game. FC Dallas, hit or miss, I feel like. So their real first game in my mind, well, they play LA, and that's always a good game. LA versus LA is always a good game. But then they play Nashville on April 22nd. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 games where they would have to just continue and then play Nashville.
Yep.
And I think they could.
Yeah, I think they could. St. Louis has Real Salt Lake first, Minnesota, so that ends, or hopefully, unless
one of them.
Yeah, and then they play Seattle, then Cincinnati, and then back to Colorado. Look, I think LA's got it. I think St. Louis is
LA or Atlanta.
Oh fuck, I forgot about Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta right now is 3-1 draw. Their next couple games are Columbus, Red Bulls, New York City, Toronto, Chicago, Nashville, Inter Miami.
Oh my god, that's very
I think they're cruising.
winnable.
I think they're cruising. I think it might be Atlanta.
All right, I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
I think
New York is gonna be, or I guess New York City FC is gonna be fun, but those rests, I think they got it.
I think they win those out, no problem.
Now that we're another game in, actually, since we recorded, I think we've been 2 games. I have
2 games since we've recorded. Yeah.
So now going back to how you're feeling with Charlotte, how I'm feeling with Sporting, I guess we could finish this off with what's your vibe? What are you feeling?
Our teams are in the exact same placement almost. We're both second from the bottom on our sides.
You fucking won a game.
We're 14 and you're 13 though, because there's 15 in ours and there's 14 in yours.
Oh, right, true.
So we have won a game, yes, but we've also lost 3.
True.
So
that's true.
I feel like if they can play the same game they played in the first half, I think I will be happy. I think I'll be happy. I don't care if they do well in the season this year. I mean, I do care, obviously, but like in the grand scheme of things, they could be playing worse. If they play like the first half, then I will be happy. If they can get their shit together, I'll be happy. And kind of like stick that way. Because right now the identity is crazy missing. But that first half was great.
Yeah, I'm not. If I was a Charlotte fan, I wouldn't be that worried for playoffs. And I'm going to say this, even though I was feeling pretty good last time we talked out. I didn't think we were going to beat Dallas, but I thought we would play okay.
Right.
And we didn't. And then we just found out today that 2 of our captain, Johnny Russell, is coming back. Or at least he's in training, full training right now today.
Nice.
Alan Pulido, again, full training with all the players, totally taking shots on goal, blah, blah, blah. I know it's good.
Is he making shots on goal? Because that's what you need.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is he actually making them on goal?
Is he making them? Yeah.
Here is what I'm going to say. At first, I was like, I'm feeling good about them coming back. I'm going to have 3 or 4 players that we didn't have for over a year and a half back. Now I'm feeling nothing fucking matters because 1, our defense looks so horrifically bad. 2, our game management is so piss poor. We should not be fighting for a draw in the 50th minute, even though we have so much more time. That makes me nervous. And on top of that, our coach has been very vocal about not wanting to start or put players in too early, even though Alan Pulido has been training for several weeks. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to erase everything I said in the first episode. That episode, lame, loser, don't give a fuck about that episode. This episode, we are not making playoffs. I'm saying that now. I don't give a fuck. We're not
back to negative place. Kevin. Daniel's going to be very upset with you.
I know. Daniel, listen to me. You did score, you dirty bastard. But we fucking look like terrible. Like, we just look so bad. And I
would say it's too much respect and scared is what it feels like.
Yeah, I think so.
The team feels very
we start winning this game, and we're like, all right, we're good,
sitting
game
back.
over. Yeah, and no. And that's where I'm nervous. Like, what if our players come back, but then our coach is like playing weird ass strategy games, and it's just like players are going to be rusty. So here's the realistic thing: we're probably a couple weeks out from all the players coming back. That sucks. So throw in a couple more L's there. Then once they do come back, who knows how fucking hot they're going to be? Maybe they're going to be ass. So maybe a couple more L's there. The guys that were hot as hell towards the end of the season, we were literally scoring more goals than any MLS team in the second half of the season, or have not scored a single goal, and both of them missed 2 penalties. Both of them. So I'm thinking, I don't give a fuck. We're solid 10th place, Sporting Kansas City.
That's
solid.
Wild.
And I don't
what
care.
A turnaround in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, I'm over here like,
crazy.
I hate this.
Kevin's over it, guys. Kevin's over it. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to do this anymore.
No Argentinians, no goals, nothing.
I'm feeling good though. So
good.
I'm sorry for you. Yeah, you know what? I can rub it in a little bit because we, 0-3 at the start. Okay, all of our branding right now on everywhere is station. It's not going to be there for forever. It's just kind of to be there to do the thing. Originally, we were like, oh, let's do it, but I was stumbling around, did some things, and I have a logo that I want to put out. Kevin's going to make a badge, a crest that he wants to put out, and we're going to let everyone else decide. So I think I'm actually going to I think it'd be cool to leave like our normal stuff and see if anyone actually likes it. So if anyone wants to keep the normal one, I don't think we should. So I have a badge. Kevin has a badge. Yeah. I don't think we should put our names on it.
No, yeah. I think so. I was just going to say just whatever sticks out to you.
Right. So we're going to put out all of the options. You can see all the things, and then you guys get to pick which one we use, because I like engagement and I like community vibes. So anything that you guys can put into this show or the Discord or whatever, the better, I think. Yeah. So, and speaking of, we do have a Discord. So if you want to come in there and ask questions like other people did, we'll put it down below. We have the Twitter and we have the TikTok. So do the things. If you want to find it, go find it, and we'll put them down below. Also, I'm going to try to do the Spotify stuff. This week or next week.
Yeah, we've been
I've pretty much figured it out. Yeah, we've been asked everywhere. So I think we do want to do Spotify and Apple. So
yeah.
So hopefully maybe this episode will be on there. And if it is, then you'll find it. So
yeah.
Cool.
Let's do this. See you guys. Bye. Thanks for watching.